I wanted to do a reading on Selena Quintanilla. I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, I apologize for butchering her name and her last name. But I'm really curious about Selena. I don't know much about her. I know, don't hurt me. But I feel like it would make this reading more challenging because I don't know a lot about her. I am a fan of hers. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's beautiful. But I can't really call myself like, oh yeah, I'm like a diehard Selena fan, like the way I am with Aaliyah, you know. So this will be interesting. So during the pre-shuffle, I had a couple cards. They just jumped out. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna be able to not have a hard time reading on her because usually when we shuffle and people that have passed as tarot readers, usually if they don't want to talk, then we won't get anything. But I got a lot for her, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read through what I've gotten so far. Don't want to make this reading super long. So the main thing that I'm pulling on right now from her energy is that Selena was full of life. She was completely a force to be reckoned with. She saw so many amazing possibilities in her career and her family life, the way she grew up. She was one that was never really told to not do something, to not go for her dreams, to not go for what she wanted. She was a big believer in that. And definitely, I've already pulled up her chart as well. I have to say before I get started, she was in Aries with her moon in Capricorn, her Mercury in Taurus, her Venus in Pisces, her Mars in Capricorn. So right away, I'm pulling from her energy that she was very driven, a very driven person. A lot of times I just heard, slow down, Selena, slow down. So I don't know if people said that a lot to her. I don't know if people were like, slow down, like, because she just like, nope, I'm off doing this. Nope, I'm off doing that. Like, people always had to call in and check on her because there were times I'm hearing that they wouldn't hear from her, and then when they would get in contact with Selena, she would be like, "Oh, I'm recording my next album." They're like, "You just dropped it like however many days ago." She's like, "I know, but you never stopped working." She was a workaholic. She loved to work. She always and she didn't see the need to slow down, being a Mars in Capricorn and a moon in Capricorn. She didn't see the need to slow down. She didn't see what the point was. And she had a very fiery, being an Aries, she had a very fiery personality, but she always tried to remain balanced. I'm not seeing Libra other than in her Uranus placement. I'm not seeing Libra prominent in her chart, so I'm wondering if she's a Libra rising. But she was someone that always tried to make time for people, even though she was someone that was very fast and on the go and always working. She did try her best to check in with people. She did try to be like, "Hey guys, I'm okay, blah blah blah," or make time for her family. And the Sun card is here too. That to me is a family card to me. And I'm pulling from her, she was a ball of energy. She was a ball of energy. Like, she had the best smile. I'm smiling because she just like, I'm feeling her energy. She just like lit up the room. Like, she would walk in and heads would turn. People would like always look at her because she would walk by and she's like, hi guys, hello. Like, I don't know, like, that's the type of personality I'm getting from her. She just said hi to everybody. "How are you today? Oh, how's everything going?" Oh, when she did check in with people, she would check in, she would be present and she would make sure that people knew that, she was there, and she liked her presence to be known, but in a positive way. A lot of people looked for Selena as guidance. She always had good advice to give people. What was her Mercury in? Taurus. Yeah, she was very, I heard spiritual, very spiritual when she spoke. She sounded beyond her years. People were like, how, like, I don't know if she got this a lot, but I'm hearing, how old are you? How old are you? Because she had like such an old soul, and that makes sense because she does have a lot of Capricorn in her chart, and Capricorns get told that they are old souls. I'm a Capricorn, by the way, guys. And I get told that a lot. You have an old soul, like, you're so beyond your years, and that's the type of energy I'm pulling from Selena. Like, people always question how old she was, and she's like, "Oh guys, and she had I'm also getting, she had stories for days. She liked to read a lot. She was always in her head too, being her moon being in Capricorn as well. She was always in her head. She was always thinking of her next project. She liked to read books a lot too, I'm seeing, because my eye goes directly to this woman holding a book. She always had a book in her hand, or something. She was always reading something. Always reading something. There were a lot of doors before Selena passed that were opening up for her. A lot of opportunities that would have set her up pretty much for life. Um, as well she was such a strong and positive influence for the I'm getting different messages, guys, sorry, bear with me. I'm hearing that she was a positive, the reason that, the Latin community, Hispanic culture took so well to her is because she was very well spoken. And I'm not saying that, Hispanics aren't well spoken, that's not what I'm saying. But I get this being a African American woman. People always, especially African American people, always tell me like, "Oh, you're so well spoken. Like you speak very well." That's what I'm pulling from Selena. Like a lot of people were so impressed by the way she spoke. She knew how to properly speak English and she knew how to properly speak Spanish, and she was very respectful. The fact that she was so caring and she was so well spoken and she was so had a good head on her shoulders. She had a good head on her shoulders. That's what I'm trying to say. She had a good head on her shoulders. A lot of people looked at Selena as their angel, as their guidance. They put her on this platform, this pedestal, not just as a singer, but as a, I would love for my daughter to be like you. I would love for my daughter to be like you, my kid to be like you. You're so well spoken. You're so educated. That's what I'm hearing. Educated. You're so educated. I want my kids to be like you. And she was, I keep pulling this from her, she was a guide. She got 2 angel cards. 2 angel cards. It's beautiful. She also had, I believe she did have spirit guides. She did have people around her, such as the spirit realm, that were very in tune with her. And when she did pass, they helped guide her into heaven, actually. They helped guide her into heaven. They helped her go into the different realms of heaven. But I'm also hearing that, a lot of people looked at Selena. She was an angel to them. She was an angel of love. She was an angel of balance, of direction, of just things being clear to people. She had a way of putting into perspective her words because she was so in thought. She was so in her head, and she knew exactly how she wanted to say things when she wrote her music. And when she sang, and the way Selena would sing, that's another thing that, we love so much about her, but especially I'm hearing the Latin community, especially Hispanic people, they really respect her, not only because she was like, oh my God, I want my daughter to be like you, I want my son to have your type of morals, and you're even though she's a woman, but even I'm hearing they would compare their son to her and be like, can you, well-mannered. You're, she's so well-mannered. And that wasn't a facade. She was being this type of woman. I keep paying attention to this woman. She was that person. She really was that person that people could look up to. She was a very good guidance. So when she passed, it was just very much a blow to everyone that respected her chest. Oh my God, she was so young. She was so young, but she was such a good person. She didn't deserve that. What happened to her, And I also want to look into what happened with her death. I do want to look into that, so we'll look more into that if she was murdered. Paying attention to the Angel of Love card and the Heartbroken card. Broken Heart, excuse me. So, Selena was definitely someone that didn't like to give her heart completely to people. Even though she was a very loving and caring person, she wasn't one that she was afraid. There was a part of her that was afraid to get her heart broken, so she always kept her heart very guarded. But she was, because she does have her Venus in Pisces, so there is a part of her that was in love with love, causing illusions around love. But she was very aware that she had the tendency to do that. So she would try her best to avoid getting her heart broken. There was also, I'm hearing that there was a lot of people around Selena that she saw get their heart broken. She was always looking, I'm also, this woman, I keep going back to her, but there was something about Selena, she had this certain type of, I hear things and, I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but I'm just going to do it. There was a certain type of look that Selena would do when she would see people do things that, she kind of thought better of, you know, or maybe they shouldn't do that. You know, if you pay attention to this woman, the way this woman is looking, she was kind of like she would do that a lot. I'm hearing and observe, like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And also, like, she didn't like to put her input into things or her family or anything like that, because like I said, she was a guidance, she was a big guide for people, not just her fans but her family, you know, her family too. But she would try to prevent people from getting hurt in whatever capacity that is, family, you know, in their love life, whatever, friendships. So she was always one that she was like so wise beyond her years, guys. She was so wise beyond her years. That's what I'm feeling. She did a lot of research too. She did a lot of research on things. And also, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm hearing that a lot of what she learned on how to, you know, read and write, and she taught herself a lot of what she knew about speaking English. She taught herself. Now, granted, there were people, of course, that helped her along her journey, but I'm hearing that intuitively, I'm hearing allegedly, because I, you know, of course, I don't know her, so, but what I'm hearing is she taught herself to speak English, to read and write properly. And that's why she likes singing songs in Spanish and English. She was very bilingual. She liked doing that. She liked shocking people, but she really loved her. She loves her culture. She loves her people. You know what I mean? And she is still to this day an angel, and that she takes on that role. She wants you guys to know as well. I'm feeling she takes on that role with pride. She takes on that role with so much. She doesn't take that lightly. She loves that people love her so much and respect her and put her on this certain type of platform where I would like from this person that I know to be like you. She's very aware of that. And she didn't take that lightly. She did not take that lightly. But I'm seeing that there was a lot of restraints going on with Selena. There was a lot of people trying to confine her. I said that right. There was a lot of people trying to like put her in this box and bind her. She was very binded to a contract, of course, because she was in the music industry, you know. So yeah, it was hard for her to get out of a lot of contracts that she got herself into. So I don't know if this has to do with her death. I'm kind of feeling like it might have to do with something like that, but I don't want to go down that so taboo road and say, oh yeah, her record label had it out for her. Because I don't, again, not sure. But there was a lot of other, but other than that, I'm hearing there was a lot of opportunities that Selena had granted to her, that she had a lot of doors opening up to her. Again, sorry for the noise, guys. Opening up towards her, for her, excuse me. And a lot of opportunities were coming her way. But there were some, you know, some restrictions. There were people that wanted to control her, that didn't want her to do certain things, that didn't want her, they liked the thumb that they liked how they had her under their thumb for a certain amount of time. Community, she didn't have the best support system. And this doesn't have to be her family. She didn't have the best support system, I'm hearing, around her. She didn't have the best support system of people that supported her. You know, there were things that Selena wanted to do. Like, she wanted to branch more out in, I'm hearing pop culture, stuff like that. Like, other genres of music. And people didn't want that. They're like, no, stay in our realm. Like, stay in Latin music. This is where you should be, because, you know, back then, you know, it makes sense. They really didn't welcome that so much as they do now. But they wanted her to keep making, you know, the music that she was making. You know, they felt like it was her duty to stay with her people. But she wanted to branch out. She, like I said, Selena was a very, oh my God, sorry guys. She was a very educated woman. She was a very educated woman. She was, you know, and she wanted to branch out more than they wanted her to. So that's what I'm pulling on from her energy. So let's see what's centering around her death. Yeah, again, the Three of Pentacles. Selena had some projects coming up. She had some things before she was passing. She had some things that were gonna really set her up, but it required her really taking a risk. You know, I thought I had quit my thing and my messaging thing. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I knew I was feeling something from that. She had these opportunities. Selena was tired of being bounded by the music she was making. She wanted to get more out there. She wanted to do more things, like in the English realm. I'm hearing more things. And they wanted her to stay in the, no, they're like, no, and oh. That's the type of energy I get around her. She's just like, Selena wanted to take these opportunities because she was like, I need to there was a lot of people that Selena was responsible for, and also that she wanted to put a roof over their heads. She had a lot riding on her. She felt a lot of pressure in that way to be, there for her family, and also not only for her family, for her community, and also I'm hearing too, like when she passed, the Latin community was just like devastated, of course, like kind of like about Aaliyah. They were devastated. They were just like, no, our princess, So let's see what happened around her death. Let's see what happened around Selena's death. Yeah, exactly what I felt. There were people that didn't want her to move forward. They wanted to continue to control her. I don't know who these people were. Could have been her record label, could have been some people outside her record label. I'm also hearing, or I saw too, and I heard family. Some people in her family, when I looked it up a while ago, this was a while ago, there was a conspiracy theory, I don't know how true this is, allegedly, that someone close to Selena, like her family or something like that, or people she was really close with did it. So this could, with the community card, it could be a family. It could be. Or it could be fans that were fans, But like I was saying, she didn't have the best support system around her. There were people that didn't want Selena to fulfill her wishes and go forward with what she wanted in regards to taking these projects, because Selena had some things on the table. She was about to make a big impact, and Ace of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, these projects were rooted for her. These projects were supposed to happen, but of course didn't because of what happened to her, but these people did not want the best for Selena. They didn't. Three of Swords, and this was very disheartening for her. These people that weren't supporting her, because she knew who those people were. She knew who they were. Yeah, as I said that. The High Priestess in the reverse. She knew who these people were. Very in tune. She was very in tune with spiritually, and she knew. Ace of Cups, yeah. Wow. She did not have the best support system around her. I cannot stress that enough. She wasn't loved properly. So if you guys know anything about her family, if you guys can tell me, drop it down below. Were there, Selena's family, because I don't want to just say her family. I don't want to be that person. But who was around Selena that didn't support her? Was this her family? Were these family members? Were these people that fans, even record label people that she thought had her best interests, siblings even? Who? Because whoever they were, Selena now knows. She knows, of course. She knows who they are. But she knew something was up. She knew something wasn't right. Spiritually, she was very in tune spiritually. Very in tune spiritually. Yeah, they turned their back. They turned their back on her. A lot of whoever these people were that had it out for her. Tower was in the reverse. They didn't want her. And the Tower doesn't always. Tower is usually represents in tarot like obstacles we have to overcome. So like these people, whoever this these people were. The tower doesn't have to be bad, but they saw these opportunities coming to her, you know, and they wanted to stop it at all costs. That's what I'm pulling. They didn't want her to have these, to take a chance, to take these risks. These were big risks. I'm feeling it. These were big risks that Selena wanted to take. Yeah. But they would have paid off. That's the sad part. But a lot of people were getting in her way, binding her. I don't know where my contract card was. Yeah, her contract, stuff like that. That's what I'm hearing. The contract. I hate to be that person, but that's what I'm hearing. Financial constraints came out for her. They wanted her to make a certain type of money. They weren't very controlling people around Selena. So I am pulling that type of energy that, yeah, whoever was around her did have it out for her, because whoever it was, they didn't want to see Selena, they didn't want to see her make not their ideal type of success if that didn't impact their, you know, their culture in a certain type of way, which is, you know, the Spanish community. Like, you know, certain people are like that. They didn't want her to branch out in that way. So they did anything they could. Basically, we call it stopping her bag, basically. So that was my reading on Selena. Like I said, she's a beautiful soul. I feel her energy. She's doing fine. I do feel spiritually she's okay. But she does know who, you know, of course, being, you know, person that lived it. But she knows all about it now. She knows all of what she wasn't aware of before. Because some of it she was blinded to. But she also was very in tune at the same time with herself and what she read on. And she was a very knowledgeable woman. And, you know, it breaks my heart that, you know, she was murdered, you know, basically, allegedly. So let me know what you guys think, and if you guys want to add anything, and like if you guys want to answer my question about who was around Selena, what are the conspiracy theories of who murdered her. You know, I am seeing with that community card and the sun card in the reverse that it was someone that was heavily involved in her life, you know, someone that she thought she could trust, you know, but kind of knew behind emotionally she knew that something wasn't right, you know. So anyway, guys, this is Sade's Tarot Tea. Like I said, drop comments below. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. I do daily readings on here about celebrities, and also I talk about astrology. So let me know what you guys think about my reading. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys. Love and light.